Before we get into the debate, I'd like to share some comments. So this is certainly not a quid pro quo, but when I made a mistake here, ignorance is no defense, but I made a mistake and I committed an ethics violation in the past. The mayor filed an ethics complaint against me. Now, personally, I think if that gentleman, they would have come over and said something to me. And certainly if they were a leader, they would have led by example and gained trust and said something to me. But the mayor filed an ethics complaint against me, and at a time when my father had a full gastrectomy, tracheotomy, had his tongue removed, voice box removed, an artery removed from his thigh. So I'm full-time taking care of my father. Mayor thought it was probably an opportune time to do that. When I was told by Robert Steinbach with the Ethics Commission, that the mayor filed an ethics complaint against me, and I asked the mayor on the dais. The mayor lied to me. He said, I didn't do that. I said, well, that's funny. Mr. Robert Steinbach happens to be in the audience, and he told me you did. And I said, let's ask Richard Steinbach. This is all on the record. He stood up and he said, well, the mayor pointed out the point in the tape where you said that and called my attention to exactly what you said, but he refused to sign the form. So I said, well, okay, Mayor, if that's your idea of not filing an ethics complaint. But again, not a leader, in my opinion, not a gentleman. But the difference is I never blame the city attorney like the mayor is. He's blaming everyone. Blaming the city attorney, blaming FP&L, blaming Mr. Cody. I took my lumps. I could never make it to the Ethics Commission to defend myself because I was taking care of my father full time, and I paid the penalty, accepted full responsibility. I don't think the mayor has any trouble accepting credit because I read an article in the Herald. I don't believe the Herald denied this article because he authored the article. It said, I made a promise for Madison Square. Price said I was responsible for Madison Square and delivered on 5 separate occasions, I think repeatedly. The irony about that is this is a commission of 5. Not only do we have to work together, but in the case of Madison Square, it takes 5 votes. But the mayor solely took responsibility for delivering Madison Square. If there was one change agent, it took 5 terms for the mayor. I believe it was the addition of Commissioner Gill to this commission. So obviously the mayor has no trouble accepting responsibility. But in this case, he's blaming everyone else. Just read the Herald article. The mayor created $1.5 million in liability with the lawsuit. It's quite a public lawsuit. And don't forget, he continued to assure the commission and the community every step of the way that the city would prevail. Well, he was wrong every step of the way to the tune of $1.5 million, which if you run simple numbers, it's 40% of our ad valorem taxes. Now he's talking about raising taxes. He also assured us that the Commission on Ethics would not find probable cause. It's on tape on the April 3rd meeting. Well, the Ethics Commission voted 4-1 in favor of probable cause. And it may be 3-1, but even if it was 3-1, the only person that voted against it is a good friend of mine, former vice mayor in Pinecrest. Great guy. But he also has a relationship with the mayor and respects what the position the mayor's taken with FP&L. So maybe that was a charity vote, maybe it wasn't. But I know personally that the only vote against is someone that has a relationship with the mayor. So what that tells me is obviously there's probable cause there. If nothing alone, just go with the 3-1. This offering $5,000, it says in the ordinance, by the way, in the resolution, that if the mayor does not prevail, that he will reimburse the city. The $5,000 was not for the entire defense. It was for the probable cause hearing. The mayor lost. So my question, which I don't need to answer right now, is the bill should never be submitted to the city, and if it is, how quickly is the mayor going to pay back that $5,000? And to that point, this is like betting on a game after the game is over. We already know who won. We already know who lost. We have a chance to revisit this item. And if anyone doesn't recall, you can watch the tape on April 3rd. The mayor said, and I quote, "This is for me." If we turn this down, which we should, and I hope we do, we're doing the mayor and the city a favor. You know, if this trial continues to go on, discovery and depositions could easily run over $100,000, and it could potentially cost the mayor his office and more embarrassment to the city. And we shouldn't forget that this past Wednesday, you don't know, but this I'll remind you. This past Wednesday, I've heard that the city's paying for other lawsuits that the mayor's involved in, other defamation cases. I can't get the answer from our city attorney, from our city manager. No one will tell me what's going on. Well, finally, this Wednesday, I wasn't called in for, I wasn't deposed, but I had to meet with the attorney that's defending the mayor in two separate deposition cases here in City Hall for 2.5 hours because there's two other cases. The mayor continues to create liability. Now he'll say, I'm not paying, the city's not paying for it, insurance, but come on, give me a break. Has anyone ever made a claim on insurance and not had your insurance go up? And let's consider our insurance. You have the premium, you have the deductible, and then you have the coverage itself. So Orlando, the former police chief, we lost. Mayor kept assuring us, hey, we're going to prevail, we're going to prevail. That wasn't the case. It's $1.5 million. There's two other suits, and now this. And he assured us he would prevail, and he didn't, 3-1. And the one vote he got in favor of is a friend of mine, and I know it's someone that supports the mayor. So I think we should all do the mayor a favor and not. The mayor is creating a lot of liability and embarrassment for the city. We need this, and he's trying to raise taxes at the same time. We need to be fiscally responsible and not just protect the city's budget. We need to protect the city's reputation and turn this down entirely.